If you've ever stared at a line of transport trucks spilling out onto a public highway and thought, man, there has got to be a better way, well, you are in exactly the right place. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive logistics bottleneck, and we're going to fundamentally transform how we think about supply chain entry points. We're diving right into the complex, often totally chaotic world of yard arrivals to see how automated gate systems can completely revolutionize your facility's daily operations. It's been said that the gate is the yard's moment of truth. Now, that sounds a little dramatic, right? But honestly, it is spot on. Just think about your own logistics setup for a second. Every single detailed plan, every tight appointment window, every safety rule you've meticulously crafted, it all has to squeeze through one narrow lane. It is basically the ultimate stress test for your facility. If that doorway chokes, the entire warehouse schedule falls apart like dominoes. And let's be real, why does it usually choke? Because way too often, paper, phone calls, and frankly just tired people put your site behind before the first shift even really gets going. You're relying on scribbled clipboards, fat-fingering long reference numbers, and shouting instructions through a cracked window over a running diesel engine. When your vital entry lane depends on those kind of fragmented manual steps, that queue is going to hit the public road in no time. It's almost like the system is designed by default to create friction and slow everyone down. So you really have to ask yourself what actually happens when your entire operation depends on paper and exhausted staff. Well, the failure isn't usually some big cinematic disaster. Actually, it's more of a stressful, never-ending series of tiny manual handoffs and risky verbal instructions. One driver can't find the reference number. Another shows up an hour early. The gate guard is frantically calling the warehouse on a two-way radio just to confirm a dock door. It is essentially death by 1,000 paper cuts. Let's put a tangible number to that friction. Just 3 extra minutes. Doesn't sound like a big deal at all, right? But multiply that by 100 trucks a day at, say, a busy frozen food distribution center. That is 5 hours of lost time. Literally, 5 hours of warm engines idling in your yard, blown dock windows, and drivers desperately calling their dispatchers before they've even crossed your property line. Real time and real money are just evaporating into thin air before a single pallet is even unloaded. Okay, so how do we actually fix this mess? Enter automated gate systems. And just to be clear, we are talking about intelligent digital workflows that handle the whole shebang. Truck arrivals, identity checks, access approval, routing, and entry records. The really crucial point here is that we aren't just slapping a couple of security cameras or a shiny new boom barrier on the fence. No, we are creating a fully connected, highly intelligent checkpoint that orchestrates the entire arrival event from start to finish. This represents a massive, massive paradigm shift. See, the old mentality treats every single truck pulling up like it's a total surprise party. It just blindly asks, who are you, every single time. But the new mentality, it flips that completely. It asks, do we already know you, and does your arrival actually match the plan we have? Suddenly, your security guard stops being a frantic human search engine digging through physical spreadsheets, and the driver is no longer forced to act as a messenger, bouncing between disconnected systems. This builds into an incredibly seamless 4-step arrival flow. Step 1 is pre-registration, meaning the system gets the arrival data before the truck is anywhere near your perimeter fence. Step 2 is driver check-in, handled super easily via a mobile form or a self-serve kiosk. Step 3 is vehicle identification. And then finally, step 4 is barrier control, where the gate just opens up automatically and gives the driver immediate, crystal clear routing instructions. It is smooth, it's predictable, and wow, is it fast. It's really fascinating how these specific hardware and software tools team up to completely remove friction from that arrival event. First, you've got ANPR. That's automatic number plate recognition cameras reading license plates in literally milliseconds. Then, self-service kiosks swoop in to capture data without needing any human intervention at all. Meanwhile, your access control systems step in to run rule-based matches in the background, basically asking the software, hey, is this specific vehicle allowed in right now? And tying it all together is the yard management system integration, which connects that exact arrivals straight to your dock scheduling. All these pieces are just constantly, instantly talking to each other. If you put the two realities head-to-head, it's basically night and day. By swapping out those slow-typed manual searches for instant QR codes and ditching endless phone calls for automated rule matching, the chaos just vanishes. Those spoken directions that always seem to get lost in translation, they become clear automated text messages zapped straight to the driver's phone. Even the mandatory safety briefings evolve from some easily discarded piece of paper into a verifiable digital sign-off.
And your record keeping goes from a messy, coffee-stained clipboard to a perfect, real-time, totally searchable digital log.
You know what the absolute most surprising result of all this is, though? The very first sign of success is quiet. Seriously, fewer frantic calls over the radio, fewer air horns blaring outside the dispatch window. The immediate payoff of this automation isn't just raw speed, although, yeah, you absolutely get that too. It's the visceral calm of getting rid of those constant, "Hey, where's this driver?" messages. You are fundamentally transforming a highly stressful bottleneck into a remarkably safe, quiet, and controlled yard environment. And the overall payoff is huge. Your truck waiting times absolutely plummet, and your staff is finally unchained from all that crushing manual busywork. Plus, you get a massive upgrade in security and total real-time visibility over where every single vehicle is. Whether you're churning through thousands of e-commerce parcels a day or running a super tight just-in-time manufacturing hub, your team can finally step back. They can actually start solving real strategic logistics problems instead of just babysitting spreadsheets and playing traffic cop all day long.
But, and this is a really, really important but, technology simply cannot repair a broken process by itself. Before you go rushing out to implement these automated systems, you've got to remember something absolutely crucial. Slapping fancy new hardware onto a fundamentally bad process is just going to digitize your existing confusion. If you aren't careful, a bad manual process just turns into a very fast, very expensive, bad automated process.
So, to get this right, there are a few common pitfalls we need to dodge. Number one, like we just said, don't digitize confusion. Map out your arrival rules first, figure out which exceptions actually need a human touch, and fix your broken processes before you write any checks. Number two, do not forget the driver experience. They might be totally exhausted, battling a snowstorm, or maybe English isn't their first language, so you have to keep those screen instructions dead simple. And number three, don't isolate the system. A standalone kiosk is basically useless if the gate data doesn't seamlessly integrate into your yard workflows and pass instantly to the exact people who need it next. When it's done right, automation replaces all that stress with solid structure. It makes your entrance calmer, significantly safer, and infinitely more efficient for absolutely everyone involved. Which leaves us with one final, pretty important question to think about for your own operation. Is your gate currently just a narrow, stressful doorway? Or is it ready to be the first truly intelligent step in your supply chain?